If I had to pick someone from season 16 to be my running mate, I would pick a mandatory meeting.
Hi!
Not because she'd be good at policy,
You're talking about some dumb Can I say? I can't say.
but because she's really fun,
I actually don't think drag queens should be in charge unless they're me.
and I like to have fun. This election, I'm voting on healthcare, losing nails, no.
Healthcare. Worldwide, we see so many other nations have such a great healthcare plan. Why can't we do it? We're supposed to be one of the greatest nations in the world, right? So, get to it.
The issues on the ballot that matter the most to me are obviously trans healthcare and trans rights.
I will be voting on issues like trans rights. I am very, very concerned about making sure that my trans family are protected and that we have someone in office who actually sees them as human beings and will fight for their rights to healthcare and to just exist as humans.
It's hard to fathom that a person's right to be who they are, intrinsically, autonomously, is at stake at this election. However, that is the place where we find ourselves.
We're such an important demographic of people because our rights are the ones that are under fire right now.
We need to make our voices heard.
Unfortunately, being queer is on the ballot. Being openly not straight is at stake.
There are a lot of us, and they don't think we'll all vote, you know?
Now more than ever, there's so many policies trying to take our rights to just exist away. So it's not an option, you know what I mean? It's a must, it's a right, it's a duty as an American to go out there and vote.
I would say voting down ballot or voting on a local level, whichever you choose to call it, is crucial.
Voting down ballot is so important because a lot of the time the presidential issues or even just like the governorship issues are a bit too large in scale to really affect everyday people day to day. And the things that are going to change your community for you and your neighbors and the people that you go to school with are those down ballot elections.
As Abraham Lincoln once wisely said, a house divided against itself cannot stand, and a house that stands has to rely on a sturdy foundation, and local government is the foundation of all the government above it. So, when you vote the down ballot, when you vote at your most local, smallest level, you are enacting change from the ground floor. So, that's why we say every single election matters, every single vote matters. Period.
You know, a lot of people in more marginalized communities cannot afford apathy. We cannot afford laziness. We need every single person to show up for us and to vote for us.
If you don't feel compelled to vote, if you don't feel compelled to have your voice heard, listen to my voice. Listen to our voices, because our voices are being stifled.
Well, you know, being a dreamer, you know, some people say I'm not political, but for us, that's not an option. Our existence is reliant on policies.
No matter what, get out, vote, and do the damn thing, because you might not always be able to.
People are more likely to vote when encouraged by a friend because we always feel comfort in our friendships. Like, imagine if you wanted to wear a halter top and your friend was wearing a halter top, but you were too insecure. That friend would give you the confidence. So it's the same with voting.
For me, that's not an option. I can't vote, but you can. Don't be selfish, you know, even if things don't apply to you, they can apply to me.
There are so many rights that we're fighting for right now, and voting is one of them. And because we have the ability to vote, we absolutely have to use that power.
If I were speaking to someone who was undecided on whether or not they would vote at all, I would tell them 50 years from now, assuming that we're all still alive because the climate is suffering, vote. I would tell them 50 years from now, will you want to be someone who looks back and pats themselves on the back knowing that you made a difference and your voice was heard and you participated in a democracy that struggles to maintain its own democratic principles? Were you a part of that? Or were you someone that wasn't prepared and wasn't particularly inclined to be a part of something great? Were you someone who wanted to make a difference and stand up for the idea that your voice should be heard at every single level of every single governing body? Or were you someone who felt unbothered? And were you someone who could have uplifted yourself and the people around you in your community and chose not to? What do you want to live with?
You know where to go for the mecca of gay. It's right here, and you know that's right. So make sure you click to subscribe so you never miss a thing.